Hi, this is my second time trying this video because there was a power interruption. Sorry about that. So I'll just recap the initial cards in case you're new to this video. Hi, by the way, my name is Lauracrapo. I do distance healing and psychic readings, and my website is in the information box below. Okay, and then so we had the lover and the beloved, and also sacred union. So we have twice this confirmation about you being ready and integrated, self-loving enough that you can have this sacred union with somebody else too now. Because your faith in yourself and the universe working with you is so strong that you've now attracted this similar energy in the real world. So a real positive relationship can come in now because you've done all this work. And any people from the past or third party energy, they're all really in the distance, and they're more just old memories or lessons learned, and they're not in the foreground with this couple. They're all receding, because right now what's most important to the masculine and the feminine is uniting, because they realize that's really going to be the only truly fulfilling thing for them, because they've learned all these other lessons, and it's they're at the top video game level now, where they don't want to play these games anymore, power games. They just want to be integrated with be their best version of themselves with someone else who's the best version of themselves, and to enjoy that union. So that's really beautiful relationship energy. And then we had yes. So now you're in the position of feeling you're saying yes to the universe, where what you feel spirit has been pushing you towards, or who they've been pushing you towards, now makes sense to you, and you're not wanting to fight that anymore. So that lack of resistance is allowing miracle energy to come into your life, and that brings many gifts, many abilities. You're seeing yourself as different, kind of a bit like an avatar, at this point, because you're taking on this unique form, and it makes you feel rich, and it makes you also be in the place of being generous, because you have an excess of abundance. You have this whole bowl of sweets and whatever, and you're living in a golden egg, basically. So that's really positive too. And then we have I make many decisions, and then I make them right. So it's about how you're constantly readjusting your goals, and when you reach them, then you can make new goals and stuff, and not beat yourself up about the past, and keep moving forward. Having this kind of childlike excitement about creativity and living in nature and in union with the universe, and how it's good-hearted and loving towards you. And maybe you spent some time kind of lost in those woods, feeling you were in the darkness. But if you feel the woods are your ally, then you start feeling a part of it, and it's more joyful, the experience of the mystery and where it's leading you and stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna read this text on the back. Your true work in this perfectly balanced universe is to weigh continually your new stimulation of thought against the existing beliefs within you, thereby deciding what you now want. So I wouldn't say necessarily not to split hairs with Abraham Hicks, but like instead of like weighing one against the other, I would say like you realize there's this like the 3D world where like you're seeing the results of your past manifestations and other people's. And then you're also aware of like what's in your heart and what's in your imagination that is being shown to you as like the ultimate positive outcome you could have. And it's like you have the two that are different, right? And then you have the choice of like putting your attention here and saying like, oh, I'm only here. This is my reality. Or you could say, this is my reality, like what I feel. I've been green lighted by the universe because I can see it in my mind. I can feel it as like a thing, you know, to even perceive. Therefore, it's mine to have, you know. So it's like, where do you want to put your weight behind? Like, so you have to put your focus on what you actually want and just be forgiving and accepting of whatever's going on right now, so that it doesn't like weigh you down as you're going towards your actual goals, or allowing, like, if you want to receive those good things, you're not necessarily like chasing them, you're just being open to them and saying like, yes, this exists for me. Like I'm saying yes to this beautiful energy that I feel could be mine, is mine, you know. Because we have this like team of like coaches, you know, spiritual team that's just rooting for us like nonstop, and they try to communicate with us using this subtle version of like cable TV, where like we might get like just a feeling of a story, or like in our imagination we might get like pictures of a story. It's very gentle energy, and it's like it feels very loving and just kind of like, here it is. And it's up to us to receive that. Like we can just say like, oh, that's just my imagination, or we can say like, thank you, you know, yes, I say yes to that. And right now it doesn't feel solid because it's still being kind of created in a space that's lighter, but that doesn't mean it's not real or couldn't become real if we put the weight of our focus on it, and then it becomes like real in our lives. But we have to be allowing, and we have to say yes to it. And that requires us to have this kind of sacred union with spirit, or like with source energy, where we're like, I hear you, you're part of my life. We're working together to create like something beautiful beyond my reality right now. Because like I want to be like the best version of myself and spend time with someone else who's the best version of themselves, who can truly appreciate me, you know. And the only way to do that is to start with truly appreciating yourself and your connection with source energy that can bring about these like beautiful kind of completions of yourself, so that you're not going around to like human beings saying like, fix me or make me happy. It's like, that's your job to do with source energy, like on your own time. And then you present like your best self to the world, and like obviously you're gonna have like better options because you've done all this work and you're so balanced. You're not going to be like burdensome to someone. You're just going to be a joy to be around, and you'll attract someone who is similar to you in that regard. Okay. We have self-love, which we were just talking about. Rose quartz. I approve of myself and love myself deeply and completely. I know for some people that's like hard to do if you haven't been doing it, or if people have been like getting in your ear about like their criticisms of you for whatever reason. But like you basically you have no choice but to like love yourself, because nothing really works unless you do. And so you have to just know that the universe loves you completely. And then, well, the universe is pretty smart because it created everything. Therefore, I'm getting like the green light to love myself. And then, yeah, so you don't have to like depend on the opinions of just like random people on that subject. And then from there, from that place of self-love, that solid foundation, you can like make great decisions for yourself in life that go in like the totally right direction. But you have to like love yourself like 100%, and that means like forgiving yourself too for anything that's been bugging you, and just like give all that up to God and go like, it's complicated again. You know, you sort it out, and moving forward, I'm gonna like, all my actions are gonna reflect the fact that I care about myself and my life, and therefore I care about everybody else because I know we're all connected. So yeah, so rose quartz is here to support you. Like if you have this crystal, or if you just think about this crystal, or you can just like in your mind just say like, I need the support of rose quartz to love myself at this time. Like what, you know, like crystals have a consciousness and are here to help us with different tasks. Then we have amber ancestors. My ancestors are guiding and loving me now and always. I'm open to receive their support and wisdom. Yeah, so it's like, it's pretty, like sometimes when I meditate, like I'll like call upon like archangels or angels, or sometimes my ancestors, and the vibe is like always different between whoever you connect with. And it's really sweet sometimes to see like how much your ancestors are just rooting for you. Like if you imagine like basically a stadium full of people just like, you know, loving you so much and rejoicing when things go well, and like rooting for you when things are difficult. Like just know that you're connected to your ancestors, and they just like they wanted to do well in life, like they want you to do well in life and like progress your line, I guess. And yeah, so don't forget about them when you're like looking for support in like your life, or wanting to get stronger in certain areas, or anytime you ask for like spiritual help, it's there for you. And when you feel like you've received it, like, you know, inside, just say like thank you, and then that kind of opens the door. Like gratitude opens the door to receive even more. So okay, and then we have, yeah, this card came upside down. By visualizing my desired outcome, the perfect action is always inspired. So maybe you're having difficulty visualizing stuff. And what I was saying when I tried starting this reading before, and then the power went off, is that like maybe you're stressing over the aspect of manifesting, like of visualizing, because some people advise you to like get like crazy detailed about what you want and everything. And then that kind of takes like the fun out of working with the universe, because you don't want to be like bossy with the universe. You just want to be like open to the flow of life and like what the universe wants to bring you, so that you don't really have to get bogged down in the details, but you can like in a general sense be open to good things happening and to miracles happening, and that you're like dedicated to paying attention rather than like hyper visualizing. So just try not to stress over that too much. So my feeling about that card. And then we have, the Ace of Cups, which is like really beautiful card, like new beginning, overflowing of emotions, like a God-given opportunity for like new love, like a new life to something. It's like, and also because we have like the lotus flower at the bottom, like maybe you thought like everything was just crappy, like you know how lotus flowers like bloom in a muddy kind of pond, where it might seem kind of stagnant, so things might have seemed like they're not really moving very well, and you weren't optimistic necessarily about like something beautiful that could grow right now, but you did have enough faith to allow spirit to bring something in, and then it surprised you with this kind of lotus flower, like out of nowhere, out of what seemed like an impossible situation came something beautiful and heaven sent. And because we had this like really strong relationship energy, like twice, of the lover and the beloved and the sacred union, it's like all, it's like in your face, like something is really possible right now because you got in the right mindset to receive. Like you're allowing the source to come in and present you with this now because you're open to it. Because you've been like, like I just said, like crazy stressed out before with different situations, and you felt like working with too many people or being a player or just like dealing with too many people's energies was just stressing you out, and you guys were just like in conflict. And it's nothing you have to stress over. It's just like that's that energy. Like if you're dealing with too much stuff at once or too many people in your life, like romantically, or it just gets busy and complicated. Like I don't know who can master that. Like having like a bunch of people meeting you at once, like especially romantically, like it would be like a juggling act and trying to remember like what was special about us and what like it's like nobody really wins in that situation. So now that you're being offered like something really special, you kind of like don't have to deal with this energy that you were in before, because there's like a passionate new beginning now that's happening, and someone's coming forth with a solid offer, which is really cool. And it's a transformation of what was before. Like there's a death to this old situation of being a player or juggling or like being juggled or like any kind of aspect of like too many people in the mix talking and texting and whatever. So there's sort of a death to like all these other extraneous people, not an actual death, but like just an ending and transformation of the situation where it's like, okay, enough. I want something different. I want like something, I'm ready to come forward and offer something solid now because I want a passionate new beginning. Because they want like total fulfillment. And it might feel like some people that they're like sneaking off, but it's like, how else are you going to leave other relationships that don't serve you anymore? Like, it's going to disappoint some people, obviously, who had like they're being kind of manipulative about like, I want this exact thing, I want this exact person. If they're not being open to like something better that the universe wants to give them, then sure, you can feel disappointed if you focus on something that you can't have, like, or you could go with the flow and see what like better things come towards you. So it's like someone's going to be in this position of just like leaving one or a bunch of situations, and a disappointed person is going to think of them as like a thief in the night, like just leaving. But it's like, you're going to have a better situation. Like, don't stress over it. And like, maybe the person coming towards you is leaving some situations, and it's like not really the time to judge them. They just needed to do this to bring about the ending that they needed to have this total fulfillment, like 10 of Cups, like being together, feeling like you have everything you want, you know, feeling emotionally fulfilled. So, yeah. So that's really cool. And then we have the Three of Swords. So yeah, there's going to be some difficult conversations with people who are like extras in this relationship, and they're going to feel like left out or hurt and whatever. But like, if you're going to be really like forceful with your words, like trying to convince someone like you can't leave me, like for whatever reason, like it's going to be awkward and uncomfortable, just like in this card depicts. But if you just sort of see like, okay, we're all heading in different directions, we all have like different desires. Like if you're more accepting of that, and that you don't feel like a sense of poverty over that, like there are so many people in the world, like why do you want to focus on like one exact person, when, especially if that person like wants to work with somebody else, like why would you fight them over that? Because like obviously there's somebody else that exists that like would think you're perfect, so like don't even stress about it. Then we have the Nine of Wands. Oh, sorry, my glasses. The Five of Wands. Yeah, so again, we have this energy of like people with their conflicting passions all in the same space. So it's possible that you or the other person, or both of you, like had a bunch of people kind of going, or you know, like with online dating, you can be talking to many people at once, and you know, each of them thinking they're like the only person you're talking to, whatever, and it can be like kind of a confusing mess. So this is the situation from which like this, like the masculine and the feminine are coming from, that they're gonna like end up leaving so that they can have this total fulfillment, this brand new start, you know, making it clear like, I want to create something with you, like those old situations are over. I'm no longer interested in having like too many discussions with a bunch of people. I just want to have this like heaven sent new love. I think my computer's like gonna overheat in a second. Just gonna like lift it up. I hope that works. I'm just gonna like fan it. It gets kind of loud. But I pretty much finished all the cards. It's a really positive message about like an awesome relationship coming in that is like guided by a source, and you just have to be cognizant of the fact that like whoever they're leaving to come towards you, there's going to be some chatter about it, and people are, some feelings are going to be hurt. Some relationships have to end in order for that to happen, and that's life. Whatever, like deal with it. And if someone is leaving you in this instance, it's like just know that like if someone leaves, it's because they feel the pressure to leave, because they feel spiritually that someone better for you is coming in. You have to have that faith that like there's always something better coming, and if you just, yeah, like it's like any time that someone's broken up with me, it's always been the case that like something better came along. So in the end, if there was someone that like broke us up, it's like that person was doing me an immense favor, you know. And you just have to have that positive outlook about like what's around the corner, and a sort of sense of mystery and anticipation towards that, because you have faith. And sometimes it means like someone goes away, grows up under somebody else's watch and comes back like better, or you get someone new that's even more suitable. In the meantime, you like spend that time like loving yourself more, like how am I not loving myself enough? Like you really get into that work so that you attract something even better the next time. Sorry, my voice is a bit hoarse, but I hope you've enjoyed this reading. And if you want to contact me for a hand session, I don't use cards in my hand sessions. I just do it psychically and through like high level Reiki and psychic healing methods. And it'll be a pleasure to meet you. And I hope you're doing well. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.